Okay, so I just wanted this video show how you can set this up so that emails are triggered and resent on. Essentially, I'm logged in as a standard Office 365 user with an Office 365 Exchange mailbox. And in sent items, you can see I'm actually manually sending emails to a particular person with the same content that we send in emails and the same subject header. So what I'm going to do is go into Flow, and I'm going to basically, the way you can go to Flow, sorry, just if I'm jumping around too quickly, is from the app launcher, just click Flow, and then I can create a new flow just by coming in here and create from blank. And I'm going to essentially say when a new email arrives, and you can search for those things by basically typing into this box if it doesn't show up for you. When I click when a new email arrives, I can pick that I actually want this to come from my sent items, and that's fine, but we probably want to have a subject filter in there. Now the email that we're sending, it says it's time to review your profile, so I'm just going to put in the filter time to review, so that only triggers when emails come in with that subject line. You can be more specific to exactly what the profile validation email is. When I click next step, all I'm going to do is when that email comes through, I'm going to get the manager of the person that email was sent to. So to get the sent to, because this is when an email arrives with that subject in the sent folder, I can actually go and get the to recipient of that email that gets triggered. What I'm also going to do, just so it's clearer, is get the profile validation email manager, just so that it's clear, and you'll see why in a moment. And then I'm at another step with another action that is not getting the manager, but is actually, if I click on Office 365 users, is getting the user profile. And I'm using V1 because V2 is in beta. There's two options there. If I get user profile, same deal. I'm just going to come in here and put the to line from the email that triggered it. And in this one, I'll just rename this. And you have to rename them before you use any values from these actions. I'm just going to call that profile validation users profile. And now what I can do is go new step, add action, and I can go Office Outlook, and then in the actions here, I can actually see I can send an email. I just want to use send an email, not with the additional things. So for the to line, I actually want that to go to not my profile validation users profile, but the profile validation emails manager, and then I can actually go and get the manager's email address here. And so I've injected that in. And the subject, I can just be like, please validate, and then I want to put in that person's name. So I can go to the user profile of the person that was sent the profile validation and just go to their given name. Or I can actually use display name because that will show their full name. Please validate, and it will say, please validate Jeremy Thake's profile information. And then for the body of the email, all I'm going to do is use the body of the email from the original email that triggered this flow. So if I scroll down, now we're in the new email, and I just click body. And there's one thing you'll need to do, because we send it in HTML, you actually need to come down to is HTML and click yes. Now with that, essentially all that's going to do is whenever a new email comes in here that has this subject, grab who it went to, and in this case it went to, it was from Adele and it went to Asaya, and then it's going to look at Asaya's manager and resend it. So you can see here that Asaya's manager is Miriam. So you can see here that the flow actually sent that one to Miriam with review Asaya along his profile. So it's really easy to set up. What you can do as well, for instance, is you could add an action in here, and there's an action for a delay until. And so, for instance, you might do, current time plus 2 days or whatever, and you can do that using expressions. So I can come in here and actually have date time things in here to actually manipulate when we want to have it delay tilled. I'm going to remove that for now. And then all you need to do is just go and give that flow a title. So it can be resend profile validation email to manager and create flow. Now with this also, what you could do is you could have another action, maybe a custom action, to go check whether if the user's already validated his profile information, but maybe not even send it to the manager in the first place. And then when this runs, if I just going to grab this information so you can see it, I'll do a new email, and if I pick sire again, and just paste the body of that email in, and I'll just put in it's time to review your profile, just to simulate what our product does when it sends this email, and click send. Basically, to see this work, you'll see it's come into the sent box. You'll actually see there's a run history, and when you click see all, it'll say there's no runs. Typically, I've found it takes like 3 or 4 minutes to trigger this showing up, and all you need to do is basically refresh your browser to see that come through. So basically now that's showing as running, and then if I jump in here, it shows you all the things that happen. I can go in and see that it has actually in fact picked up Miriam as the 2 input, put in the body of the email, and injected a size name in here based on all the properties it grabbed from the initial inputs of the email and everything it had in it. So that's really allowing us to kind of take a product feature that we haven't quite got right now and allow Flow to kind of handle that and send that email off to the manager after a delayed period of time.